Hello everyone, today we're going to be going over Nico di Angelo's top 10 coolest moments. I recently asked you guys what you wanted to see most in a poll, and this had half the votes, so here it is. In the number 10 spot, I put Nico shadow traveling halfway around the world to bring the Athena Parthenos back to Camp Half-Blood. Shadow traveling is hard. It's even harder when you're carrying two other people and a 50-foot tall statue. Overall, I think it was a really good show of Nico's power, so it makes the list. When Nico destroyed the impenetrable doors to Nero's throne room, I may or may not have been jumping up and down. It was so cool to see Nico reanimate the skeleton of a bull and charge into Nero's throne room, battling 10 of his Germani. Even after being so exhausted, Nico still managed to attack Nero, so this moment definitely deserves the number 9 spot. For number 8, I decided to put the moment when Nico killed the skeletons that were about to attack him and Percy at the end of the Titan's Curse. Nico had just found out about Bianca's death, and even though he had never used his powers before, or even known he was the son of Hades, he still managed to open a huge crack in the earth and send the skeletons to the underworld. For number 7, I nominated the time when Nico summoned a dozen undead warriors during the battle at Camp Half-Blood in the Battle of the Labyrinth. They had just returned from the maze, only to be attacked by a horde of monsters. A group of monsters broke away from the battle and headed into camp, but Nico managed to summon a fissure in the ground, summoning a dozen undead warriors. For someone who had just discovered his powers, this was extremely impressive. For the number 6 spot, I wanted to put the moment when Nico and Reina hugged after the battle with Gaia. Even though it's not an action moment or anything, it showed just how much Nico had changed, from being someone who hid in the shadows and thought of himself as an outcast, to someone who is now viewed a hero for his bravery and who feels accepted at Camp Half-Blood. In the top 5, things get intense. For the 5th spot, I put the moment when Nico and Jason faced Cupid. On a mission to get Diocletian's scepter, Cupid taunted Nico to tell Jason and everybody else why he always kept to himself, ran away, and was always alone. Engulfed in pain and rage, Nico exploded. The ground shifted around him, stones shook, and grass withered. As Cupid continued to press him, Nico let loose his pent-up emotions, causing skeletons to crawl from the ground. He also emitted waves of darkness filled with hatred, fear, and shame that nearly caused Jason to pass out when they hit him. During the Battle of the Labyrinth, Nico came face to face with Minos again, the ghost who fed him lies and used Nico for his own benefit. During the battle, Minos attempts to summon ghost soldiers to fight with him. Nico orders him to stop, but Minos replies by saying that Nico has no power over him, and that he is the Ghost King. Nico stabs his sword into the ground, saying, "No, I am," and causes a fissure to open up and suck Minos and all his spirits into the void. For me, Nico's top 3 moment is when he fought Bryce Lawrence on his mission to bring the Athena Parthenos back to camp. Bryce had threatened and hurt Reina, so Nico acted in the coolest way ever. He literally turned Bryce into a ghost and sent him to the underworld. It shows how much Nico cares about his friends and what he's willing to do to protect them. In the number 2 spot, I've nominated the moment in the Tower of Nero when Nico saves Apollo from a Germani. It was kinda like a movie scene when I read it. I imagined the Germani standing over Apollo with a smug smile. All of a sudden, the Germani's face turns pale with fear. The air goes cold and the Germani starts to shrivel until nothing is left of him but a skeleton. Then you see Nico standing behind him saying, "That's better, now stand down." Well, that's pretty much exactly what happened, which is why this is in the 2nd spot. And for the top spot, I've decided to put the moment when Nico, Reina, and Hedge get cornered by Lycaon and his werewolves in the House of Hades. They were badly outnumbered, but Nico managed to summon hundreds of skeleton bones from the ground and create makeshift cages around the werewolves. That bought the group time to get to the Athena Parthenos and prepare to shadow travel. The only thing is, Nico didn't have a shadow to shadow travel with, so as Lycaon lunged at Nico, he struck Reina's pocket knife into the werewolf's chest. Nico then uses Lycaon's own shadow as he dissolves into black mist to shadow travel them out of there. And that's it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If I forgot a moment that you think should have made this list, comment it down below. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, and I really hope to see you all next video.